Wow. Every single team that was in the top 10 lost. This week is going to be a extremely weird week because basically every team in the top 10, my top 10 last week, got beaten. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You are watching the Camper Report Live. We have a new guest today. For this. So obviously this week was a weird week. Obviously we had the Packers going down, rightfully so. They did lose Aaron Rodgers and quite a few. They had injuries, let's just say that. Jair Alexander, everyone else. Let's get to a few other teams that lost. Bills were not supposed to lose. We had the Cowboys. That was a shutout up until the halfway through the fourth, and then they kind of made a comeback. It was overall a pretty bad week for all of the top five teams. Bucs obviously didn't play, but the Titans with a big win over the Rams. So that was crazy. So let's start off with the number 10 team. I have got the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, Bills. Number 10 team is the Bills. I said Cleveland Browns before. I was going to do Bills at 9, Cleveland at 10. But then I was like, I looked at the Bills highlights, okay? And I want to give you, the Bills have problems. They have clear issues. This is a bad running team. The Bills don't even try to run the ball anymore. 9 carries between the two running backs. You had 16 carries. Josh Allen carried the ball more times than any of the running backs on the Bills team, Zach Moss and Devin Singletary combined. So at first I wanted the Bills at number 9, but I'm going to do the Bills at number 10 and the Browns at number 9 because you cannot and here's the thing. You can beat bad teams with a not so good running game and barely running the ball, but you're not going to be able to survive in the playoffs. They're not going to make it far if they can't run the ball. So my thing is, you have to run the ball well, and they don't try to run the ball, and they aren't good at running the ball. So that's going to be a major problem going forward. So that's why I have the Bills at number 10. At number 9, I've got, like I said, the Browns. The Browns looked noticeably better than without OBJ. 5-4, obviously. Nick Chubb had a big day. I'm looking at my notes right here. 137 yards and 2 TDs. That is key. They had a big win against the Ravens. Again, against the Bengals. That game against the Bengals, Browns had a big win against the Bengals. That win against the Bengals was a huge win. It was a divisional game, so they had to win that game, and it was really huge. The Browns it looked like earlier on in that game against the Bengals, it looked like it was going to be a shootout. Bengals go down 2 drives in a row. First drive, it's a pick 6, and the great thing is when you have a pick 6, obviously the Browns had the longest Browns pick 6 in Browns history. It was like 102 yards. When you have a pick 6 like that, it demoralizes the other team. So the Browns played super well. Nick Chubb got going, had a lot of yards. This offense looked really good I still think the Bengals are pretty good. Not in my top 10, but this team had a big win, and that's why I'm putting them at number 9. Their defense was really good last week. They looked good. So at number 8, I've got a team that, a team that was not in my power rankings last week. They were right outside of the top 10. It was hard last week because I didn't really feel good at putting them in the top 10, but I got to do the Patriots. The Patriots they're not a great passing team. I think Mac Jones is only averaging 5 yards per pass. He's only throwing like 150 yards per game. So their strength of their team is running the ball and the defense. So that's their strength, and they're sticking to it. At least they're not like the Browns. At least they know what their strength is. So I wanted to put them at number 8. They just had a really, really, really good big win against a team in the, I think it was the, who was it? Can't remember. Anyways, they had a big win. Mac Jones obviously is not the strength of that team. He's playing all right, not doing too many mistakes. Oh, that's right. The Carolina Panthers. Sorry, guys. That one slipped my mind. So anyways, they came into North Carolina and whooped the Panthers. I had a friend that was at that game. He's a Panthers fan. He was pretty mad. That was not a good game. They had 2 picks on Sam Darnold. Their defense is looking super good. This team looks like they can make a decent run and possibly be playoff contenders. They might even be better than the Bills at this point. That might be a hot take, but I think they might actually be better than the Bills. So defense is playing well. Their offense is playing serviceable. They're getting picks on players. They took advantage of Sam Darnold, so that's why I got them at number 8. No, at number 7, you have got the Cowboys. After getting dethroned by the Broncos at one point, it was 30-0. That is crazy. Dak, obviously, you could tell he was not, I watched half of that game. He was not perfect. Got shut out the first 2 drives, and the Broncos really did good against one of the best best offenses in the league. They were able to shut down the run game, make Dak throw it a ton, and a guy back from injury just didn't really have it. So, they were 3, I think. They're sitting at 6-2 still. They're doing really good, but there was some weaknesses on that team. Their defense didn't look as good as it did the week before. I just think that there were 3 last week. They got to drop to 7. They did not have an impressive outing, and I got to put the Cowboys at number 7. Let me know what you guys think, but that's just what it's going to be. They just didn't have a good outing. So at number 6, we have got the Baltimore Ravens coming off of a relatively big win. I'm looking up who it is right now. I think it was against the Ravens, coming off of a big win. Lamar Jackson had a bunch of rushing yards. I think I'm looking at my notes right now. 120 rushing yards combined, 260 pass yards. Just a really incredible performance. Now, there was some good and some bad by Lamar Jackson. I wrote it all down. Some good and some bad from Lamar Jackson. Did have 2 picks, but paired that with 3 TDs in the air. And this last Sunday, Vikings, right? They beat the Vikings with a game-winning field goal in overtime. So this team, it was a shootout with the Vikings. The thing that was most impressive is when I watched the highlights is they were down actually 17-3 or 17-0, right? 17-3 at one point, and they fought their way back. They shut out the Vikings in the second half and really were able to climb their way back in it. And I thought end of the second half, I was like, how are they losing 17-3? In second half, they had an impressive outing, were able to shut down the Vikings. Sorry, guys. I kind of have been forgetting the matchups. I've been getting all the stats in, but I've been forgetting the matchup of what teams played. But yes, the Vikings did play the Ravens, got beaten, and the Ravens had a great outing. The defense looked decent. Lamar Jackson, but they got down early, and they can't do that in every game. They're not going to survive against good teams. So Ravens at number 6. At number 5, I have got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did not play last week. Again, got dethroned by the Saints the week before. So at this point, there were so many teams who lost in the top 10. You really have to put them higher. Last week I had them at 9. This week I have them at 5. They rose without even having a bye week. It's just that so many teams lost. I still got to give this one to Tom Brady. Antonio Brown will be out for longer than expected. So that should hurt the team quite a bit. But I do still put this team at number 5. I like their style. And maybe they're not a top 5 team, but at this point, this week was so confusing. I did not expect, literally, I think there were 7 out of the 12 upsets happened. There were 7 upsets, which is really crazy to me. At number 4, I got a team in the Rams who I wanted to drop them lower, but everyone lost. So Matthew Stafford, obviously, I'm going to have this topic tomorrow with Kobe Ransom, but Matthew Stafford did not play well, had 2 picks, was sacked quite a bit. He was constantly under pressure. And I'm going to get into the Titans a little bit later, but they forced him to make decisions he didn't want to make. He had his first 2-pick game in a while. That was rare. Got them down early, and they just couldn't fight back. I mean, they had 2 early picks, which were converted into touchdowns by the Titans defense. So the Rams didn't look good last week, got kind of blown out, but I think they can still, obviously, will rebound with a win over the 49ers, most likely this week. I still trust the Rams more than teams like the Browns to put them that low. That's why I have to put the Rams still at number 4, because this was so confusing. It's like, okay, I mean, and potentially, the Rams potentially lost to a top 3 team, so. At number 3, I have got a team that I just talked about in the Rams at number 4, but at number 3, I have got the Titans. This team, the defense was a concern. A lot of people at the beginning of the season were saying their offense is going to be the thing. Their offense is going to be the thing. Well, it's not. It's not the thing that is holding them back. Their offense really, their offense did not prove that much because the defense was so good. The first 2 drives, I think, they got it going against the Rams, got 2 picks near the end zone. So that's 2 touchdowns. One of them was a pick 6, and one of them was like at the 5. So the Titans, their offense really didn't have to do much. It was all the defense. Titans just had to get easy buckets. They basically had to, all of their scores were pretty easy. So Titans held on to that one, but I was impressed. They got a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford defensively. The run game didn't look terrible offensively. Ryan Tannehill played it safe, and their team basically, if they're not going to beat themselves, so they made the Rams made mistakes, and they capitalized off of them, and they ended up blowing out the Rams in a game that we did not expect them to. I got them at number 3. Some people have them at number 2. My number 2 team is coming up. I don't know if you guys agree with this one, but let me know. So obviously at number 2, we've got the Packers. This team, rightfully so, they lost. Jordan Love was in there. Didn't really run. Jordan Love didn't do that great, was okay. Their defense was really good, even without all the pieces missing, Jair Alexander. So, Jordan Love passed it 34 times. Would have liked to see them run it a little bit more. They're 7-2 still. They can drop this type of game. They're already way ahead in the NFC North. So at this point, I don't want to drop in too far. I don't want to make too many assumptions on how far they're going to go down because Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, and I think they would have really handily beat the Chiefs if they would have had him. Their defense looks very promising. I think they're first or second best team in the NFC. At number 1, I have got a team that was expected to lose. It was a big surprise that they won. The Cardinals at 8-1. They are basically the only team with 1 loss. They proved that Cliff Kingsbury, a lot of people proved. First thing, Cliff Kingsbury proved that he can adjust to different quarterbacks. He can adjust to different systems just in 1 week. It was impressive what Colt McCoy did. Good teams handle adversity and they win, and that's what the Cardinals did. They handled adversity, they got the job done, and I was really impressed. This team made okay, well, it wasn't all them. 49ers definitely did suck, but this team made Colt McCoy look pretty good, and they ran the ball. James Conner, absolutely amazing. They can be a scary team with all their pieces. With J.J. Watt and all of that, this will be a scary team. I am not looking forward to playing them. Actually, 49ers have already played them twice. Well, anyways, 49ers were embarrassed, and the Cardinals did really, really good. So, I don't know. Cardinals could be a team to beat this season. I got them at number 1. We'll see what they do doing forward, but it was a very impressive win without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt and Chase Edmonds at the beginning of that season. At the beginning of the game, he went out early. So, that's who I got at number 1. So, quick review here. We got Bills at number 10, Browns at number 9, Patriots at number 8. I have got the, hold on. Cowboys at number 7, Ravens at number 6, Buccaneers at number 5, Rams at number 4, Titans at number 3, Packers at number 2, Cardinals at number 1. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think I mean, Browns were, let me know if the Browns should be in there. Let me know if the Cowboys should be farther down. Let me know if the Bills should be out of the rankings. Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Don't forget me. You guys can find me at patreon.com/thecamperreport. That will be down in the description. You can find me wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, guys, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. So I'll see you guys later, probably tomorrow with Kobe Ransom. So don't miss that one. Peace out.